And joining us now is Kent Bacus, NCBA's Director of International Trade and Market Access. Kent, thanks for coming today.
Good to see you.
You know, those really are some impressive export numbers. What's driving demand, and do you believe we can continue this momentum?
We've been very fortunate because there's been some tight supplies when you look at global beef. And given the growth in demand globally, that's really made us very competitive. Part of that's driven by the ongoing drought they've had in Australia. Australia is a leading competitor with us in many of our export markets. So when you look at the drought that they're facing and the fact that that just makes us more competitive, especially in markets like Japan and Korea, it's been very beneficial for us, especially with Japan. Japan's our leading export market. Just through September, we've sold about $1.6 billion worth of U.S. beef to Japanese consumers. And then right next to Japan, you have Korea. Korea's been a stellar market for us this year. We've seen a 50% increase in our sales, $1.3 billion just through September. Some of that is due also to those tight supplies, but also because we're enjoying an 8% tariff rate advantage over the Australians in the Korean market. That is solely attributed to the Korea Free Trade Agreement. So I think it's a combination of good economic winds blowing in our direction, but also good trade policy that's helped us capitalize on it.
So beyond the markets you mentioned, are there other untapped markets that may provide some long-term opportunities for U.S. beef?
I think we can't ignore the opportunities in Indonesia. It's the largest halal market in the world. But also we have to address the restrictions we face in the European Union. Europe it has potential to be a great market for us, but we continue to face non-science-based restrictions there. So when you look at the future opportunities, we would hope to be able to address that under the Trump administration. But also you have to look at the United Kingdom and what may happen there in a post-Brexit world. So there's a lot of opportunities that are out there, but the one that truly matters the most to us in the long run is China. Now, obviously, the current trade situation there, it restricts our ability to meet that demand. But when you look at what our other competitors are doing in that market, it's amazing. India, Brazil, Australia, they're sending record numbers of beef, not only in volume but in value to the Chinese market. We need to be part of that. That's really part of our future, and we're hopeful to see these trade issues resolved in the very near future so that we can start to compete for those consumers.
I would concur. So tell our viewers, what exactly is NCBA's role in fostering these trade opportunities?
Well, NCBA works directly with our government, both the U.S. Trade Representative's Office and USDA, to help facilitate those conversations. We provide not only technical expertise, but also we help tell that story. We help tell the story of how these trade policies impact our producers on the ground. So we're really that connection between government and industry. We not only work with our government agencies, we also work with Congress. So you've got to think about that. There are 535 opinions on Capitol Hill. We need to make sure that our story is told in a way that resonates with the constituents in each one of those districts. So that's why we have a presence here in Washington, and that's why trade is such a priority for NCBA.
It is a priority, and as we talk about fair and free trade, why is that so critical to the future of the beef cattle industry?
When you look at our industry, I mean, we rely on competition. We're not subsidized. We don't want to be. The only thing we want our government to do is to open markets and then get out of the way and let us do what we do best, and that's provide consumers with the product that they want. It's important that our people continue to engage and be involved in NCBA, because we have to be the ones to take that message forward. You look at our population in the United States, it's becoming less rural and more urban. So not only do we have to improve our message to our urban constituents and our urban customers, we have to look outside of our borders where 96% of the world's population is. That's where our future and our growth is. So it's important that people remain part of NCBA, and that those who have either let their memberships lapse or who have never joined consider coming back, because there's strength in numbers and our voice is strong and they need to be part of that.
I couldn't agree more. Thanks so much for coming to our show, Kent.
Thank you. Good to see you.